welcome to a Bosu workout with core moves. So today you only need a mat and your Bosu. And we're going to start with the dome down and the hard side up. So we basically will use the Bosu. We'll be holding it. We're going to have the dome down. We're going to have the dome up. We're also going to use it on its edge. Okay, and that can be either with the point down or the round side down, okay? So you can just put it to the side for now with the round side down. And we're just gonna start with a little warm up and then move on to the Bosu. So let's get our feet directly underneath our sit bones. Draw up on the quads, pull the belly in, the shoulders down and back, and just stack the body for a minute. And let's just bring the hands down by the sides and just a couple gentle little circles backwards, trying to keep that rib cage down while you roll those shoulders. And then forwards. And just connecting with your breath and relaxing those shoulders. And let's start to just bring the hands up, palms face forward, nice big wide shoulder circles, keeping the rib cage down, the pelvic floor lifted, the shoulders away from the ears, and just enjoying that warming in the shoulder girdle. And one more time, this direction. And then let's change direction. Pull the hands back, palms face each other as you draw them down. Reaching them wide, keeping the belly connected, the glutes connected, the quads contracted. And bringing them down. Let's do one more this direction. And then this time, as we bring the hands down, as they come forward, nod your chin, begin to roll your spine forward. Articulating until you come into this forward hanging bend, and then stack the spine back up all the way. And then folding forward again, reaching the fingertips towards the toes and enjoying this opening down in that lower back. And then stacking it back up, finding the back line of the body, shoulders away from the ears. One more time, folding it forward. And then this time, you're going to lengthen the spine out to your hinge and then begin to sit your hips back, coming into your squat. Now just check your squat for a minute, that your knees are in line with your toes, and the outside edge of your knee is in line with your outside baby toe. From here, you're going to just lengthen the spine, so put your hands into the front of your knees and just pull your head away from your tail. Try not to arch, keep it long, draw the belly in, the shoulders away from the ears. And then as you exhale, slide your hands down, your shins, tip the body forward into a forward fold. Stay and breathe here for a minute. And then exhale, roll all the way up, finding the back line of the body. Bring your hands with you, reach them up overhead. We're going to come down into a squat with the hands overhead. Drive the knees forward, finding the weight in the heels, in the arches. Bring those hips down and then hinge the body forward, straightening the legs into your forward fold. This time let the hands be heavy and roll the spine up, articulating one vertebrae at a time, stacking the weight over the heels, the head over the hips, and relaxing the shoulders. Good. We're just going to stretch the chest out a little bit. So you're going to start on your exhale. You're going to open your arms out to a T and then hug them in and flex them around the spine. As you inhale, you're going to lift the chest, bring the arms back, push the chest forward. So try not to arch the lower back with it. You're keeping that belly connected and just stretching through the front of the chest. And then exhale, hug, flex and stretch the shoulders. Inhale, open the chest. One more time, exhale, stretch, look down at your feet. Inhale, open and stretch the front of the chest. Bring your hands down to your sides, nod your chin, roll all the way down. Coming down, just tap the floor gently and then find the back line of your body, roll your body up sequentially, stacking the weight back on top of your ankles. Now we're going to sweep the right hand up and gently slide the left hand down the left thigh as you reach that right hand to the corner, the crease between the wall and the ceiling. And then stack the body up. Lower that hand, sweep the left hand up, slide the right hand down the thigh. Side bend over to that crease. And lengthen up. Right hand comes up, side bend. And then this time just flex the spine and look like you're trying to bring your right armpit towards your left big toe. And then back to that side bend, lengthen back up, hand comes down, left hand up, side bend. And then turn that left armpit towards your right big toe. And stack it back up, lengthen all the way back up. And hands both by your sides. Just adjusting my hair and everything else here today. Okay, float those hands up to chest height. And then soften the elbows so you're creating this hugging a ball type shape. Squeeze your glutes, get that connection between your glutes and your hips and your core as you twist your torso towards the right side. And then exhale into center. Inhale, twist to the left side. Exhale into center. Twist to the right. And center. Twist to the left. And center. And then lower the hands down to the hips, nod the chin, begin to roll the spine down. All the way sequentially opening up each vertebrae until you come into a full forward fold. And just enjoy the stretch on the back of the thighs there. And then look forward and bring your hands to your Bosu. So you want your hands to be framing the sides of your center disc. And then bring your shoulders over your wrists and step your feet back into a plank. From here, you're going to use your exhale breath to push your hips back into a down dog position. And pull the belly in, round the spine, scooch the body forward back to your plank, and then drop your knees so they just hover above the floor, challenging your abdominals. Push the hips back up, downward dog. Flex, round, pull the body forward, lengthen to your plank, and then drop the knees, hovering just an inch off the floor, challenging your core. Push those hips up, really stretch the back of the legs. Your heels can stay up if you need to, and then pull the belly in, really round through the spine. Find the glutes, unravel to that long line in your plank, lower the knees, floating above the floor, and again, up you go. Round, hug the belly in, squeeze the glutes, lengthen to that long line, and float the knees. And last one, push it back. Feel the stretch in the shoulders, round, connect the glutes, pull the body to that long line, and hover the knees. And this time you're gonna uncurl the feet, place those knees down, okay? From here, we're gonna push our hips back to our heels and then squeeze the bum and pull the hips forward to our kneeling plank. Push the hips back, squeeze the glutes, pull yourself forward, lengthen. Push the hips back one more time, squeeze and lengthen. Now you're gonna pull the belly in, stack your knees perpendicular to the floor, take your hands away from the Bosu, and bring yourself perpendicular to the floor. We're just gonna stretch the thighs, a little bit of quad stretch. So you're gonna float your hands up to shoulder height, glue your belly in, find your glutes and your core connected together, and just gently hinge the body back. We're not coming back really far and stretching those quads. We're just coming back, a gentle little movement, and pulling ourselves up, hands come back. Reach forward, hinge back, and pull it back. Reach forward, just warming up those thighs a little bit, stretching them, keeping that connection with the core. Last one. And pulling it back. Good job. We're going to hinge the hips back again, bring the hands back to the Bosu. Now, if you have any issues with your wrist, you can have your hands turning out to the side for this, or spread those fingertips really nice and wide. Push into the Bosu, keep those shoulders wide, belly pulled in, and float those knees again. Now we're going to stay in this position and we're going to just do some glute kickbacks on the right leg. So keep that left foot down, keep the hips square, and kick your right heel up to the ceiling. And then pull it in. Kick it up. Keep your spine long, your belly connected so the back does not change shape. Pulling it in. Try not to let that left knee come too high off the floor. It should be about the same height as the Bosu. Keep spreading your fingers nice and wide. Challenging the core here. Challenging the thigh. Challenging the glutes. Last one. Lower it down. Place the foot down. Drop the knees down. Uncurl the toes. Just push your hips back, tilt the Bosu forward, lift the chest, and just stretch the shoulders a little bit. Bring yourself back up, center your hands back in on the Bosu, hands either side of the central circle, fingertips spread wide, knees under hips, curl your toes under, lift those knees again, and this time let's do the left leg. Kick that left glute or left heel up to the sky, pull it in. Keep drawing the navel towards your spine so that you're bracing your core, your chest is working here, your abdominals, obviously your glutes, your hamstrings and quads on your supporting leg, and keep that spine long and neutral. We've got two more. Kick it up, flex it in, last one. Kick it up, lower it down, place the foot on the floor, gently lower the knees, and push yourself back. This time just reach those hands forward and bring your belly all the way down to your thighs. You can rest your head on the Bosu if you want, or you can totally tuck it out of the way and just come into a forward fold. Let your heart rate come back down. Let your body rest for a minute before we add on. And then start to bring the awareness back in the body. The hands are back on centering, supporting that center circle. Spread those fingertips wide, knees are under hips. Let's curl those toes under. Lift those knees up, and then you're going to step your legs back to a strong, solid plank. Now we're going to hold that long plank, lift the right foot up off the floor, bend the elbow, and pull that elbow or knee into the elbow. And then reach it long again, bring it down. Lift the left leg, elbow, knee to elbow, not elbow to knee. Reach it back into extension, drop it back down, lift it up. Pull the knee to the elbow, nice and wide. Try not to let your spine change shape too much here. Keep hugging that belly in, protecting your lower back. You'll get a little bit of movement in the spine, but you don't want so much that you're trying to, that your spine's wobbling around everywhere. Pick up on the left, pull it in, send it out, lower it down. Now we're gonna add knee to nose flexion. So you're gonna pick up the right, round, push through the hands, round through the spine, pull the knee towards the nose, send it back, lower it down, lift it up. We're only doing two each side with these. Knee to nose, challenge your balance. Send it back, lift up on the right, pull it in, round through the shoulders, send it back, lower it down. Last one. Ooh, send it back, lower it down, and drop the knees and push your hips back and stretch your shoulders. Just let that heart rate come down for a minute. Okay, from here, you're going to grab onto the handles on the sides of your Bosu, curl your toes under, find the connection with your core, push into the Bosu and hop your feet forward into a wide squat. Push up from the floor, take the Bosu with you. Squat down, Bosu on the floor, hop back to your plank. Find the belly, hop it in, wide sumo squat, stand up tall, a little bit of a bicep curl as you pull that Bosu in. Squat it down, release the Bosu, hop it back into your plank. Squat, lift from the bum, weight in the arches of the feet. Your feet are as wide as your mat, and then hop it back to your plank. One more for me, hop it in, stand up tall, and walk your feet in, good. From here, we're just going to go into a pulsing squat. So you're going to hold the Bosu in front of you in an isometric bicep curl. Get your feet knees distance. And we're going to pulse. 2, 3, 4. As you stand up, reach the Bosu overhead. Pull it down. Bicep hold. Pulse. 2, 3, 4. Push it up. Overhead. You can keep it angled like this if that feels better for you, or flip it over. I like it better for my wrist like this. One more time. Bring it down, bend those elbows and pulse. 2, 3, 4. Reach it up overhead. And then bring the Bosu in front of you. Bend the elbows. Keep that isometric hold in the biceps, and we're going to twist. So twist to the right side. And back to center. Twist to the left. Challenging the obliques a little bit more by holding that Bosu, twisting, keeping the hips really nice and quiet. Twist to the left. Center, one more to the right. You can see my hips are not shifting or changing shape. Center, and then bend the knees. Place the Bosu down on the floor. So from here, we're going to keep the Bosu on its edge and just send your hips back, send the Bosu forward, stretch out the back a little bit. You can wag your tail, pedaling the knees, just stretching out the lower back. Okay, and then still the knees. Lift the body up to that hinge position and then bend the knees so you're in your squat. We're going to lift the heels and lower. Lift, pull the belly into the spine to protect that lower back. Lift and push. Try not to sickle through the feet, so feel like you're squeezing those heels straight down, making some orange juice. Lifting, rolling away from the floor, finding all of the strength in the intrinsic muscles. Just check they're in line with your knees. Push them down and then send the Bosu away. Again, just bending the knees or rocking side to side, whatever feels good, just to release your lower back. Then lift back up to that hinge. We're going to squat till our hips come right down by our heels, and then push it up, straighten the legs. Squat it down. Stretch those hamstrings. Squat it down. Stretch one more time. Squat it down. Stretch, and then just bring the chest between the arms. Stretch the spine, stretch the side of the body again. Pedal the knees if you want to. Just creating that nice stretch underneath the shoulders. And then roll yourself back up. We're going to pick the Bosu up with the round bit facing our belly now. Getting your feet directly underneath your hips. So nice and stable. And you can hold it just away from the belly. If you need to, you can hug it in. Otherwise, just get that isometric control in the biceps again, in the shoulders. And we're going to twist to the right. Exhale into center. Twist to the left. Into center. Twist to the right. And to the left. Now we're going to reach it up overhead. Straighten the arms. Turn the toes out. Soften the knees and a gentle side bend to the left. Just gentle. Waking up those obliques. On the right. On the left. Whoa, really finding that core to pick you back up to standing. And center, straighten the legs. Bring the Bosu back down to the floor. So the round side is facing your knees. And we're going to open our feet out to the width of the Bosu, so our heels come just wider than the Bosu, and come down into your sumo plie. So you can see it frames your legs, but you're not sitting on it, okay? So your legs are framing that Bosu. We're going to come down. We're going to pulse, 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 lift those heels. Pulse, pulse, whoop, pulse, lower the heels. Pulse, 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 pull the belly in, lift the heels. Pulse, 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 lower down. Keep your belly glued in. And your spine long, lift the heels. Last one, pulse, 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 lower down. Now from here, we're gonna alternate the foot. So we're gonna lift up on the right, squeeze the left, squeeze the right, the left, pulse, pulse. The left goes down, right goes down, pulse, pulse. Right goes up, left goes up, pulse, pulse. Right goes down, left goes down. Keep that belly pulled in. Left up, right up, challenging those quads. Down, and left goes down, right goes down, plie, plie. Right goes up, left goes up, plie, plie. Left goes down, right goes down, plie, almost there. Right, left, bounce, bounce, left, right, bounce, bounce, and put your feet to parallel. Push your hips back, push the Bosu forward, and again, just wiggle your hips side to side, bend your knees, stretching out through that sacroiliac joint. Breathing, lengthening the spine, and letting your breath connect. From there, we're going to roll the Bosu back onto the dome. We're going to stand on the hard surface. So we're going to get our feet in close together right in the center of the Bosu. So on the hard surface, there's a center ring, and then a shadow of another ring. You want your feet to be inside the shadow of the other ring. So if you're nervous about getting onto it, bring your hands down, bring one foot onto the Bosu, find your balance, bring your other foot on. Then glue your belly to your thighs and begin to stand up. Now you're going to keep a soft bend in the knees, and we're going to point the toes, flex the toes, point the toes, flex the toes. So you're transferring the weight to the balls of your feet, to the heels, to the balls, to the heels. Find the control in your core, to the heels, balls, heels, and you'll find that after a few, you get the hang of it, how your quads pull the toes up and your bum pulls the toes back. And then stand up nice and tall. Let's turn the feet out and then the heels out so you come a little bit wider. And we're going to do skiing. So you're going to ski the right foot down, you bend the left knee. Ski the right knee up, the left foot goes down. So reach. And reach, reach. Find that connection in your core. And reach. Do two more for me. I'm just going to change my view here. Reach. And then still the knees. And come back into center. So keeping those feet fairly wide, so you're sort of on the second ring. Find your balance. And we're going to move into our squats. So you're going to bend your elbows as you come down to squat, and then extend your hands back, straighten your legs, find that length and stability in the body. Bend the elbows, stand up tall. 3 more, bend, slow and stable, knees over toes, stand up tall, bend, lengthen up, last one, knees over toes, and come on up. We're going to walk our feet into the center now, so just wiggle them in slowly or come off and come back on. And you want your right foot to be right in the center of the Bosu, and then send that right hip down, straighten that leg as much as you can, come on the ball of the left foot, hug the belly in, float your hands either out to the side or in front of you, or keep them on your hips. Find that base of support and float that knee up. Tap the edge of the Bosu. Float it up, tap, float, don't collapse in that right hip, pull the belly in. It's okay to move your hands to find your balance. And float, and then place it down, just come on off. We're going to stretch the feet because that's a lot of work on the feet, so just come over and curl the toes over the other foot. curl it over, and this time we're going to step with the left foot. So from the floor, you can just step that left foot straight in the center of the Bosu, soften that knee, find the support in the left hip, lengthen up. Now make sure your hips are level, find the stability in the foot, in the core, and float that right knee up, and tap it down when you're ready. Use the belly to draw it up, tap it down. Draw it up. So the key thing here is not to collapse in that left hip. Keep the belly connected, the hips level. Don't lose your focus. Look off at one space. Last one. Tap and then lower it down. Stretch the feet. We're going to add on from that. So we're going to step with the right foot in the center of the Bosu. Get that connection in that right leg. Hinge your body forward slightly. Begin to lift the left foot off the floor as you find the stability on the right. So your left foot is kicked out behind you. Your body is hinged forward. Point your toe, and we're going to tap it down. Lift it up. Tap it down. Keep your belly square, your shoulders and your hips square. Slow with control. Tap it down. Relax your neck. Lift your pelvic floor. Last one. Lift it up and then gently come down and stretch the foot. And we're going to do the other side. So step with the left foot into the center of the Bosu. Keep the bend in the knee, pull the belly in, hinge the body forward, put all the pressure on that front leg, don't collapse into the hip, float the right foot off the mat. Tap it down. Use the bum, lift it up. Tap it down. Relax the shoulders. Tap it down. Lift. Tap and lift. Two more. Tap it down. Keep that right leg in parallel so the knee is facing forward the whole time. Tap and lift and then tap it down. Bring it down and stretch the foot. So just really working through the intrinsic muscles in the feet, moving up through the shin and supporting the knee. We're going to come back to the right foot again. So right foot in the center of the Bosu. Put the weight on that front quad and then push into the floor. Stand up tall, stack the hips. The leg is extended, the left leg is extended back behind the Bosu, contract the glute. You're going to swing it around the front, tap the front of the Bosu. Swing it around the back. Keep the belly still. Don't let it shift and change. Finding your core for stability. That's 4. Send it away. Breathe in through the nose. And then step to the side and stretch the foot. Obviously, we're going to do the other side. So, come back behind your Bosu again. Step your left foot in the center. Get the weight on that left quad. Begin to straighten the knee. Find that length and stability. Set the hips. Find your control. Extend the right hip. And then when you're ready, around to the front. Ooh, pull back to the back. Around to the front and tap. Pull it around to the back. Tap to the front. Ooh, nearly lost my balance. Back. Front. Keep that core pulled in. Last one. Tap. Whoop. And back. And step it back. And stretch the feet. Good job. Okay, we're going to roll the Bosu over to the back end of our mat now so that the dome is facing up. And we want to have about a foot of space at the end of the mat. And you're going to sit just in front of it. Keep your feet in a nice soft bend, hip distance. We're going to float those hands up and just begin to gently push the back One vertebrae at a time. Make sure you're centered with the Bosu. One vertebrae at a time onto the ball. Relax your shoulders and then sweep the hands up overhead. Palms face the ceiling. Spread the fingers wide. Palms begin to face each other. Nod the chin. Flex the abs. Roll yourself back up. Roll down. Sweep the hands. Allow them to follow the line of the thoracic spine. Open them up wide. Nod the chin first, and then lengthen up. Roll it down. Hands come up. Circle them wide. Nod the chin as they get to about airplane. Flex the ribs towards the hips. Pull that navel in. Lengthen up tall on your sit bones. One more time for me. Roll it down. Lengthen back. Open those hands. Once you get to your T, nod your chin, ribs to hips. And come on up. Good job. We're going to come seated on our Bosu now. And you're going to sit pretty much in the center of the dome. And we're going to extend our legs and open them up just a little bit narrower than the sides of our mat. Okay? Flex your toes towards your face. And you want to make sure you don't feel like you're going to fall off. Reach your arms out wide to a T. And we're just going to twist to the right side. Keep your chin, your sternum in line with each other, so only twist as much as you can get that rotation in your own spine, and exhale back to center. Inhale to twist to the left, exhale to center. If you're having any trouble in your hamstrings, gently bend your knees. Center to the left, center. This time we're going to add on flexion. So twist to the left, then look to your right pinky toe. Reach that left hand towards that pinky. Turn your back thumb down and flex your body forward. Try to touch that pinky. Then lengthen up, unravel that back hand into center. Let's do the other side. One time. Twist to the left. Right pinky heads for the left toe. Back thumb goes down. Nod your chin. Flex and stretch. Try and cut that pinky toe off. Lengthen up. And back into center. Now we're going to bring our Bosu to the front of our mat. And we're going to put our feet on it. You know what's coming. So get the feet right in the center of the Bosu. They're going to be hip distance, knee distance between, or one fist between the knees. Nice and relaxed in the neck, the chest, the back. Lengthen the whole spine down. Find that nice little neutral space behind your lower back. Roll your shoulders down and back. Take a nice deep inhale. Then as you exhale, pull your rib cage down towards your hips. Flatten that back. Squeeze the glutes. And roll your spine away from the floor. Stay there and inhale. And then as you exhale, roll the spine back down. Finding each vertebrae massaging into the floor. Scooping the abdominals. Passing through your neutral. Now obviously with your feet, we're going to keep doing that, but with your feet on this soft, unstable surface, you have to work even harder in your multifidus in your spine, in your supporting muscles of the legs, to stop your knees from splaying out to the sides, to stop your hips from wobbling around. So really focus on that roll straight up and roll straight down. Good. We're going to do that one more time. Roll it up. Hold it there. And then tabletop your right leg. Kick it up to the ceiling. Let's flex the toe towards the face. Drag that down. Tap the Bosu. Point and lift it up. Flex. Drag and tap. Point, lift it up. Flex, drag and tap. Point, lift it up. You don't actually have to tap the Bosu. Just lower it down till you get that extension in front of the hip. Last one, keeping the hips nice and still. Point, lift it up, bend the knee, place the foot down on the Bosu, and roll sequentially back down, scooping the abs, passing through that imprinted position, release into neutral. We're going to do the other side. Inhale, exhale, roll yourself away from the floor, concentrating on those inner and outer thighs, squeezing the glutes. Then on your inhale, push into the right foot, tabletop the left. Reach it up for the ceiling. Keep your hips still and level. Flex the toe towards the face. Drag that heel down. Feel like somebody's pulling your heel, point your toe, lift it up, away from your hip socket. So you've got this real length down the left side of the body. Lift, flex and drag. Point and lift. Flex and drag. Point and lift. Last one. Flex and drag. Point and lift. Bend the knee. Place the foot down. Inhale at the top. Exhale. Roll back down. One vertebrae at a time. Keep those shoulders down. Concentrate on that stability in the legs. Lengthen back into your neutral. Okay, we're gonna open the knees out to the side now, but don't let them completely drop out to the side. Make them supported. The soles of your feet together. Your heels are just behind the center dome and your toes are just in front of the center dome. And you're using these inner thighs to support your knees. We're gonna do our glute bridge in our diamond position to work the hamstrings a little bit more. So this time, float your hands up to the ceiling, palms facing each other. Then draw those shoulders down and back. Pull the pelvic floor up and the navel in. Inhale, exhale, push into the feet and lift the hips in one movement. Inhale at the top, exhale like somebody's chopped you at the crotch, at the hip, to bring yourself down like a karate chop. Exhale, lift it up. Inhale, exhale, drop it down. Inhale, you'll see how your knees are going to want to kind of go, whoa. So really push into the feet, push the soles of the feet together, flex at the hip. Inhale, exhale. Hold it up there, inhale, exhaling, dropping it down, good. Just send your legs over the Bosu for a minute. Stretch your arms up overhead, let your body relax. Now we're gonna roll up. So palms face the ceiling, float them away from the floor, pull your ribcage down to get your abdominal connection. Nod your chin, begin to flex the spine, roll up and over, and then just a gentle fold over your knees. Good job. And then just come on up seated. And we're going to sit mermaid seating. So I've got mine to the left side of my mat. So I'm going to start with my mermaid on my left. So my left knee is forward. My right heel is in close to my right hip. And my left heel is in close to my right knee. And I want to try and get both sit bones down as much as I can. And then I'm going to reach my hand over the side of the dome. Float my right hand up and then softly bend the elbow as I come into a side bend. Lengthen up, lower the hand. Again, float it up, bend the elbow, side bend. Lengthen up. This time we're going to come down deeper, so you're going to slide that hand away. So float it up as you hinge. Bring your body over the dome and just allow that nice stretch. And then lengthen up. Now we're going to stay on our elbow here. So you're going to have your elbow go across the midline of the dome. The elbow is around about the center of the dome and the fingers fall forward, but you'll have to play around with that depending on where your shoulder lies. You also may decide that your elbow needs to come in a little bit and your fingertips out. That will depend on your shoulder girdle. You're going to lift that bottom waistline and then reach the top leg out to the side. Push into the knee and lift up to a side position. Reach the hand up, and then we're going to flex the spine, twisting and rotating towards the dome. Inhaling, lengthening up. Exhale, flex and twist. Inhale, lengthen up. Keep pushing the arch of that right foot into the floor. Flex and twist. Inhale, lengthen, and then lower the hips down, lower the hand down. Now we're going to come down. So the waistline is on the ball, and you're going to cradle your head in your hand. And we're going to pick that right foot up. So you might need to lengthen your bottom leg down away a little bit. That's okay. But we're going to try and pick that top leg up, and we're going to do some leg circles. So you can have your hand on your belly, hand on your hip, or hand on the dome. Make sure your shoulders are stacked, your hips are stacked. We're holding that leg out on a nice long line. And we're going to do our circles. So we're going to go up, forward, down, and back. Up, forward, down, and back. Keep pulling the navel in towards the spine, keeping the whole body as still as possible. Only that leg is working through that right leg. And we're going to reverse direction. Forward, up, back and down. Back and down. Keep pulling the navel in, protect that lower back. Last one. And bend the knee in. Good. Push yourself away from the dome, and we're going to flip it over to the other side, or just turn around. But for me, so that you can see the view in the camera, I will move mine to the other side. So we're going to sit in that mermaid seated position with our right foot against our left knee. Our left heel is close to the left hip. The right knee is close to the Bosu. So we're sat in nice and close again. The hand is resting in the center of the Bosu. Float that left hand up. Bend the right elbow. So you can only bend over so much here because we're keeping that shoulder away from the ear. And then lengthen up. One more time like that. And lengthen up. Now we're going to go long. So stretch that hand long. Sweep and hold it there. Enjoy that nice deep side stretch. And then come all the way back. So we're going to bring our arm into the center of the Bosu again. You can adjust that bottom leg if you want to. Send that top leg out to a long line. Push into the elbow, lift the hips, reach that hand up to the ceiling, and we're going to flex and twist. So inhale, exhale, flex the spine, twist and rotate, thread the needle. Inhale, lengthen up. So push into your bottom knee to keep that lift in the waistline. Exhale, twist and flex. Inhaling, lengthening up. Exhale, flex and twist. Inhaling, lengthening up, and then lowering the hips. Let's put our head into our hand, lowering the torso down onto the Bosu. Slide that bottom leg away a little bit. Pick that top leg up. Now just take a minute to check in with your body. Check that both hips are stacked, both shoulders are stacked. Your bottom waistline is trying to lift away from the Bosu, not just collapsing into it. And then when you're ready, we're going to do our leg circles. So we're going to go up, forward, down, and back. Keeping the navel pulled in towards the spine so that nothing moves at all in the torso. Everything's staying controlled and stable. Breathing. Last one, let's change direction. Forward, up, back, and down. Using the muscles around the hip, the glutes, the hip flexors, the glute med to create that circle and keeping our waistline nice and tight using the obliques. Last one. And then pull that knee in. Good job. Okay, we're going to come back so that our back is against the Bosu. Pull it in a little bit. And we're going to sit just off the front of it. Okay, so you want to feel like you're going to slide down the front of it, but you're supported. Okay, so you don't want to fall down, but you want to feel really nice and supported on it. And we're just going to move in a flexion and extension. So we're waking up the obliques. So sit up tall to begin with, then curl the tail under. So you come back behind the midline of your body, and then rotate and extend your right arm. Pick it back in, sit up tall, reach the arms overhead. Bring the hands back as you flex back. Twist to the left side, sweep that left hand. Bring it back in, twist to center. Lengthen, stack the spine, bring it down. Twist, reach, pull it in, lengthen up, stack the spine. Tuck the tail under, scoop the abdominals, pull the belly in, twist, reach. You don't have to reach if that gives you any tension in your upper trapezius, in your neck. Last set, twist. So again, you can just stay in that twist, back to center, stack the spine. Don't forget about those knees, don't let them wobble, curling it back, keep pushing into the heels, twist, back into center, lengthen up, and then forward fold over your knees. Just rest and breathe, stretching out that lower back a little bit. And from there, we're just going to go onto our belly. So bring your Bosu into the middle of your mat, and you're going to put your hips onto the center of the dome. So you want your hip bones basically to cradle either side of that center circle, and your arms are going to come directly underneath your shoulders. Elbows are on the floor, hands are long, lengthening down the sides of the mat. Now pull your belly button away from the Bosu. Pull your head away from your shoulders, lengthen that whole body, reach your big toes away, and then using your bum, reach your right toe up towards the ceiling. Lower it down, don't let your back change shape. Reach the left toe up towards the ceiling. Keeping that knee nice and straight, place it down. Keep hugging the navel in, away from the dome, so you shouldn't feel your belly button touching it. Just your pubic bone and your ASIS, left leg. Bringing it down. Now we're going to reach our hands forward and bring our forehead down to the mat. You're going to squeeze both feet, lifting them up into extension off of the floor, and then push into the hands, slide them towards you as you lift your chest. Now we're going to bend the elbows, send the feet up higher, straighten the elbows, extend the legs. Bend the elbows, send the feet up higher, straighten the elbows, extend the legs. Pull that belly in, okay? You're only coming as low as you can control it with your abdominals. So the elbows come down and back, push into the floor, feet come down. 2 more for me. Reach them up and up. Last one. Lengthen up and then lower the feet, lower the torso, turn your head to one side. Allow your whole back to lengthen and relax over the dome. And then we're going to square our body back to center. Now for this one, you want to find your balance point on the dome. So if you're too far forward, you'll roll forward. If you're too far backwards, you'll just sink back. So find the point, usually around your belly button and about the middle, or you have your hip bones just behind the dome and your rib cage just in front of the dome, and just lift your hands and find that balance point. Now we're going to reach our legs out and our arms out to create a star shape, and then reach them in front. Out to a star, keep the navel pulled in, reach them overhead, Superman. Out to the star, into Superman, stretch those shoulders. Last one, out to the star, into Superman, and then lower the body down, turn your head to the opposite side, scooch forward a little bit if it's too much pressure on your belly. And then from there, bring your knees down onto the floor, your hands underneath your shoulders, push yourself off the Bosu and back into a little child's pose. And you can rest your head on the Bosu, let your elbows fall out to the side, you can bring them back behind you, or you can totally push the Bosu out of the way if you would prefer to come into your child's pose flat on the ground. Okay, roll yourself up away from the Bosu. And we're going to come in front of it. Bring your feet over the arch and then scoot your hips forward so that your bum comes right into the center of the Bosu. Then you're going to bend your elbows, bringing your lower back onto it. And then grab onto the sides and lower your shoulders. So your sternum, all of your scapula are really relaxed down on the floor. Your hips are supported on the Bosu. Just wrap your hands around the side of it so that you've got support. And we're just going to tabletop the right leg, push your lower back into it, and tabletop the left leg. So just check you're not falling off the Bosu or your back isn't pressing into the hard rim. You might need to pull yourself forward a little bit more so that you feel supported and comfortable on there with your legs in your tabletop. Now from here, we're going to just twist the knees towards the right shoulder and lower them just a little bit. Keep that left hip down, really working through the abdominals here. And then twist them back into center. Tilt the knees towards the left armpit. Start to lower them down. Don't let your shoulder lift. Your hip will lift a little bit, but not a lot. Into center. Twist to the right. Reach those legs long. Sweep them away. Over to the left. And then bend them in. Reach them out. Sweep them away. Over to the right. Bend them in. One more time like that. Reach. Sweep. Keep that belly drawn in. But bend. Reach, sweep, and bend, and into center. And then just let your knees fall into your chest. Make sure again that that hard bit of the Bosu isn't jamming into your back. If you want to, you can push the Bosu away a little bit more, but keep it so that at least your sacrum is still in touch with the Bosu. And then just allow your knees to be head in your chest. Put your hands over your knees, hugging them in. Just getting that little bit of myofascial release in the lower lumbar spine, especially with the lordosis, that extensive curvature or flat thoracic spine. This just is really good for creating length and stretching out those tight muscles. And then when you're ready, just wake your knees up, roll carefully over to the side to come off the Bosu. And we're going to do our last exercise. So you're going to come seated in front of the Bosu with your butt right up against the back there. And sit up nice and tall. Bring your hands to the sides of your ears. So your hands are going to cradle the weight of your head without creating any tension in the neck or without pulling on the head. So just sit up nice and tall. You're going to hinge the body back just a little bit. So create that tension in the abdominals and then pull the lower back down. Try not to crowd the elbows in, so keep the sternum, the collarbone wide and the sternum lifted. And then lengthen down, open the chest. Help your hands help to lift the weight of the head, flex up and look between the knees. Keep that flexion for 3, 2, 1. Flex forward a little bit more. Lengthen back up to that hinge line. So we're not coming all the way up to seated. We're just coming to the hinge. Abs are shaking, earthquake abs. And then curl that lower back down. Scoop the abdominals, everything working really hard. And then rest, relax, lengthen, enjoy the stretch in the chest, the stretch in the back. Now pull the ribs down, nod the chin, use your hands to help lift the weight of the head. Flex and look between the thighs and hold. Try and keep this lower lumbar spine in neutral here. 2, 1. Now flex that thoracic spine a little bit more. Bring yourself forward. And then lengthen up to that hinge line. Last time. Pull that lower back. Scoop your abs. Scoop, 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 scoop. Push your feet into the mat. And then lengthen and relax. Inhale at the bottom. Now pull the ribcage down and in. Nod the chin. Help the head. Flex. Look in between the legs. Keep that lower spine in neutral. 3, 2, 1. Flex a little bit more. Shaky, 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 shaky abs until you can't flex anymore. Then lengthen to that hinge line and then pull yourself up and fold over your knees. And that's you done for today. Now you can just get up and move on with your day, or if you want to, you can pull your hips away from the ball just a little bit so that it comes just between your shoulder blades. Bring your hands to your forehead and just lay your head on the ball and allow your elbows just to slowly get heavier and heavier. Maybe extend your legs, maybe rock them side to side, and eventually let your hands fall out to a T, or to your Jesus pose. Toes fall out to the side, and just lay there for a few minutes, enjoying the stretch in the chest, enjoying the length in the spine. Maybe focus on your breathing, bringing it under control, slow inhales and slow exhales. to your side and push yourself up from seated. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you again.